Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another installment of the Puckin' Around podcast, episode 64, if I got my counting correct here. It's 64. I know it sounds like a bland number, but when you think of that number, you think of Nintendo 64. So I guess you can call it mini milestone episode, right?
No one cares.
Boo.
Listen, I'm trying to get some little combo out of this.
You suck.
64 is going to have some level of meaning. But listen, we got a good one for you tonight. Alex Ovechkin, he finally did it. The chase is over. He's finally broken the record, 895 as of yesterday, as we're recording this right now. We're all going to give our thoughts about that, the moment as a whole, and how it compares to other big moments in sports. We're also going to be talking about the wild card races as a whole. They both look like they might be potentially wrapped up. Or are they? We're going to get into that a little bit. And finally, we'll talk about the trades at the deadline, looking back about a month later, which ones have been the most impactful, or potentially even which teams have gotten the most impact of the trades that have happened. But anyway, that's enough for me introducing the topics. Let's go over the crew we got tonight. Starting off to my kind of small top left, because I got two to my top left. Guy in the middle, we call him, you know him, you love him, Mr. Nordimus Prime.
What's up?
What's up? How you doing, buddy?
He didn't care. He didn't care.
I thought we were just gonna move on after I said what's up. But I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm doing well.
It's good. I mean, I figured you'd be more excited seeing how your team looks like they're about to make the playoffs. But
Oh, I am.
I kind of set you up for that. You left me high and dry. Can you believe that? Listen. All right. Well, let me ask someone who's just as miserable as I am when it comes to our current team status right now. A man further to my top left corner from the High Brew Nation pod. Wow, I'm even botching names right now.
You said bar
Mr.
mitzvah.
Cam Sakarzik. Cam, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Hi. Boston sucks.
Welcome
wow,
to the dark side.
We're
Welcome to
so
the dark
fucking
side.
bad.
We're hitting
Beat Carolina
the
5-1, lose to the Sabres 6-3. What are you gonna do?
Congrats. You have the fourth pick. We have the fifth pick. It's a battle for suck. It's
Hey, at least we can win at something. Might be sucking, but at least it's something.
We won the draft lottery in 2017. We didn't get much out of it, but we did win.
How'd that work out for you?
Yeah, I didn't say it worked out well. There's a reason why that general manager isn't here anymore.
He's got a bit of a headache now.
Please don't give me PTSD from the actual pick itself. I just wanted to win at something.
No, not you. I'm talking about Nolan Patrick.
Yeah. Wow, he went there.
That's bad.
Come on, man. We're better than that. Well, someone who can share in my Flyer of Depression, it is my co-host from the Flyer, Gonna Flyer podcast, our recently brought in group member, now part of the Big Five of the Puckin' Around podcast, Mr. Eric Martino.
Hello, hockey world.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I let that
All right. We're ready to go. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's do this indeed. And then last but not least, not to leave the eldest left behind,
Posing
the
as
man
Guy
who
Lafleur.
produces all of our hard work and does so much behind the scenes. We love him so much for it, but we also give him the most shit. Mr. Rick Sigelman. I still might botch the last name.
You did. And
I know it.
Seligman.
I am,
Seligman. See,
as
I
you
still botch
notice-
the last name.
as you notice, I'm playing the part of Matt tonight. Camera's off.
He's going in.
My camera's on.
He's grumpy.
I'm playing the part of Matt tonight. You're playing, obviously, the part of me.
So that means, Nordy, you have to change your name to Rick.
There you go.
It also
And
means
by
I
the
gotta
way-
blow both my knees out.
By the way,
Cut my hair
Cam,
off.
that's not Guy Lafleur.
Whatever.
That's Maurice the Rocket Richard. Come on,
bad.
man. The
My
fuck?
bad. You
The
Canadians.
Rocky
like-
Richard Trophy.
Americans don't know shit about hockey.
Listen.
Right, Eric?
Rick's all cocky now that his team's in the playoffs for the first time since 2021. So,
All
Oh,
you
we're allowed to talk about
Canadians
that?
look
well, pretty much in the playoffs. I don't want to jinx him.
Better not. If they don't make it now, I'm coming after you.
I'd laugh even harder.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be an epic foreshadowing? I think you're
Can't be
good.
harder than I'm laughing at your team, so I don't think so.
Listen, the roles are reversed at this time last year, so shut it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mean, I think we can brag a little bit because our GM rebuilt the team near perfectly. Still work to be done, but I mean, this has been just about flawless.
I mean,
No, I mean credit
pick
to
the
Montreal.
defenseman over borderline generational talent.
I
but
think if we make the playoffs this year, quickest rebuild in the history of the NHL, 4 years.
that we went over this on our
No,
chat.
my
The
God, no,
Colorado
it's
Avalanche
not.
rebuilt in a year.
No, they
Enough
didn't.
said.
They basically turned it around after 1 year, made the playoffs, and then
Okay,
won
that's not the same
playoffs.
thing as
And
rebuilding.
then they won.
Okay,
the
wait,
cup.
Montreal Town, they were last in the league and then made it to the playoffs.
They
the next year in
retooled.
the
Yeah.
second round.
They
They were last
retooled.
in the league. Yeah, okay, yeah.
A
You're
re-
right.
Okay, whatever.
When was the last time
It's
I
just
think you
because you're
saw?
jealous, not my fault.
I think when was the last time you actually saw a team retool and then come back and win the NHL? Was not. I shouldn't say that. They did. They what? They won it in 2022, right? Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, I
4
think it was
years
quick,
later.
yeah.
It's okay. It's just the official thing is 5 years is the earliest, it's the quickest rebuild. But you guys know better.
Listen, if you win the cup this year, I'll put you ahead of Colorado. But if not, I can't give it to you.
My God, I even give Montreal credit for even making or potentially making the playoffs this year, and Rick is just being like, "It's the fastest rebuild ever. You guys don't know shit about hockey."
It's the quickest rebuild. That's all I said. It's the quickest rebuild in the history of the NHL at
Well,
4 years.
I
You go,
guess the
"Oh,
rumors are-
Avalanche did it in 1.
I guess the rumors are true. Canadians do finish quick.
Well, listen.
Oh.
No. Wait a second. I have a response to
Oh
that.
my!
I was
you
born
do?
in the U.S.
Oh.
in upstate New York,
Here it is.
and
here's
I'm
here's
a
where's American
descendant-
citizen.
I'm a descendant of the Minutemen.
Here's where.
There's a reason
Well,
why
that
they call
doesn't make it
the
better.
2-minute warning.
That's why I
Doesn't make it
finished so
better.
quick. I'm a Minuteman.
Rick's
What do you
over
want from
here.
me?
Rick's over here like, now I'm going to use my American citizenship to my benefit, where now that you insult Canada, I'm just going to absolutely just
I was
brag
born
on
in
you
the
guys.
States. I'm not proud of it. I can't change it. No, well, if I had 4,500 US, I could. They'd allow me to.
Like I said, there's a reason why we call Rick the 2-minute warning.
It's 1, okay? I'm a Minuteman. Let's get it straight.
But anyway, let's get into our topics tonight. We got a good show
digress.
for you. So we're going to be talking about a couple things tonight. But starting off, Mr. Alexander Ovechkin broke the all-time goal scoring record, finally. 895 goals. Ovie,
Awesome.
and he did it in absolute epic fashion. It was fantastic. It was a hell of a goal. And you know what? I love the fact that he came out and said, I didn't want to do it with the net pulled. He came out and simply said, I want to score with a goalie in the net. And what made it even better, he scored on a goalie that he never scored on before, Neely Sorokin. So
Did you see
go
his
ahead,
bid?
Tim.
Did you see his bid yesterday on Ilya? He just goes, Ilya, thanks for letting me score 895 on you. Love you, brother. Did you see that? That was absolutely hilarious.
Told the whole story. He was like,
And they still lost.
It's fine, buddy. I don't mind. He was internally upset.
Yeah, they still lost 4-1. So okay, guess who got the last laugh?
Of course you have to score your first on me. That's the record breaker. Sure. And you know what was great about it? He got it on his office. Left circle, snipe on the power play.
It was just over his office. I wouldn't.
Yeah, it was more in the rush, I think.
Yeah,
I know, but it was like when you think of an Alexander Ovechkin goal, it's within that circle and it's a snipe from
it was above the circle.
He was on the right side of it, I thought.
No, it was
He
on
was
the.
coming
It
in
was
on
on the
the
It was a
goalie.
little higher. It was a little higher.
Yeah,
up
it was on the
circle, like
goalie's
usual.
right. It was on the goalie's right side. It was on his forehand, of course, but I mean,
It was on his forehand, but I mean, it was on the in the face-off dot. It was like right here. It was on the right side of it, maybe like that.
It was not in the. I don't think
A
it was
little
in the
bit
circle.
before the
No, I think it was
circle,
on like the.
if
like-
I remember correctly. It was on the rush. He wasn't sitting
Yeah,
there
it
waiting.
wasn't
Oh no,
the
it
rush,
wasn't
yeah.
sitting
Put it on the
I'm
rush.
saying the actual goal itself. It was in the general area that he scores a large majority of his power play goals.
I would say.
I
it would
think
be
maybe
more
that's a
to
better way to put it.
It'd be if I'm the goalie, it's more to the right and a little bit further down is where he normally scores it from. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's in the general vicinity, but it was definitely not his slap shot. I think it was a good goal. I think it beat him blocker side or something along those lines. It was like 6-hole or something.
That was a
along
great
those lines.
shot.
Oh, it was a
That was
beautiful
a
shot.
Am I the only one who hasn't seen it? I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't
Oh,
seen
you
it
haven't
yet,
seen
Rick?
it?
No.
Dude, we have a podcast.
I haven't
Like,
seen
all
it.
over
What do you
the
want
place.
from me?
I even
I
I
posted
didn't
a
know till
TikTok.
this morning. I didn't know till this morning we're going to talk about it, and I had to go out. I didn't have time to see it.
Rick,
my
it
God,
takes
what do you mean? It
15
was-
seconds
I
to watch
missed
the
every
video.
time-
You didn't
every
watch
time-
while you were like taking a shit.
Every
might
time
be
they
the only
showed it
person that
somewhere, I
hasn't seen
missed
it.
it. I missed it. I haven't
You
seen it.
just look it up on the NHL app, you bum.
Yeah, I haven't done
Old
that.
man
Okay.
yells at cloud.
All right. So fire me. What are you going to do?
No, I
it
can't
just-
fire you. You're an executive.
And you probably
You're on the
need more
board.
of this more than almost all of us, so we love you, Rick.
You suck,
But-
Rick. Love you, Rick.
No, but
I'm not reacting to that. Not tonight.
listen, I'm the one
Not
that usually gets
tonight.
the butt-end jokes.
Not tonight,
Tonight's not
Satan.
today.
How did
I
you
didn't say
know?
Satan.
I'm just amazed you didn't see it, dude. Like I stopped doing what I was doing yesterday.
I had
just
the
to
game
watch
on.
the game,
I had the game
and
on,
you missed it.
and I was cooking.
Oh,
I
my
come back
God.
in.
So was Alex.
I
so was
come back
Ovechkin. He
in,
was cooking.
and
He
it
got the fucking
happened.
breaking
Look
goal.
at me.
But I came back in, and it had happened, and I didn't see a replay yet. I
Oh
missed
my
every
God, dude.
replay.
The
So I
celebration
didn't
though
go
was
look
top.
for it.
The celebration was top tier. Top tier celebration.
I heard it was a good goal. I mean, I'm not the biggest Ovechkin fan, so really, I don't care.
Neither is Vogel, but actually last night he was like, yeah, whatever. That's still a milestone you got to look at, even if he's not your favorite guy.
Well, I'll
in the
see
world.
I
it.
always loved
I'll
Ovie.
see it eventually. I just haven't seen it
Eventually,
yet.
Ovechkin and Rick will be fucking dead. But I hope they have
On my
TVs up in heaven,
deathbed.
buddy.
Oh, my deathbed. I'll be going, but I haven't seen the goal yet.
At that point, he's already scored goal 1,000. You're probably gonna miss that one too.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, there's a good question. You think he sticks around that long?
No.
No,
I think he finishes
probably
out his-
not. Next year's likely his last year, I think. He already stated that he wants to finish out his NHL contract, and he's probably calling it quits. And he has 1 year left after this year. But anyway, listen, we've been rambling on about it too much. Let's listen to the rest of the Posse's group. Eric, what's your take on the beauty of a goal?
No, it was great. Really happy for the guy. He deserves it, man. Like honestly, I think legit he's probably the best goal scorer of our generation at the
Easy.
very least, and maybe of all time. Who knows? We'll see.
Of your
like,
generation.
Right now, at all time, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, but what I mean is like, because you look at guys like, let's say like Mike Bossy or Mario Lemieux that like had obviously their careers were cut short because of injuries or like in Mario's case, like because of cancer and whatnot. But and back issues also, and they were on crazy goal scoring paces. But also you have to take into account, right, different generations,
eras,
different eras of hockey,
Different era.
styles. So, but no, like
I think based on
Ovechkin-
that, you can argue that Ovechkin's is greater because Gretzky's was
exactly.
done in the goal scoring era where you just had to look
Yep.
at the net and you scored a
Yeah,
goal.
I would watch sometimes. I'm watching some like highlights of these old games, and even in like the mid '90s, and like I don't even I was watching hockey then, and I'm like, I still can't believe how these goalies were still playing in like the early to mid '90s where they're just flopping around everywhere. And so
You know
like, okay,
why
yeah.
though, eh? The goalie coach in the 80s, there was no such thing yet as a goalie coach. So imagine early 90s, same thing as they worked them in, but these goalies didn't have coaches.
Yeah.
No, so that's it. So like no, for me, like look, right now I can comfortably say I think Ovie's the greatest goal scorer. And I don't think right now I don't think there's anybody that could touch him. Like Austin Matthews might come the closest, but the guy can't stay healthy. So
Yeah, true.
You just
You
got
won't
Rick's
play-
attention.
Oh, well, wait a second.
He won't play long
put some-
enough.
No, okay, so I guess I don't know what the context of, but he was talking about if he ever got really. That's how arrogant you are. That at your set stage of your career, you're talking about beating Ovechkin already. You got a long way to
You're
go,
not gonna,
buddy.
yeah, you're not gonna catch
No
him.
one's going to do it.
No,
At
no
least
one's
out
gonna
of this
catch
He's gonna
group.
score at least 30 next year too. He'll probably
Exactly.
finish this season with 897 or something like that, or maybe just a couple more. Maybe he might even reach 900. Yeah, in next season he's probably gonna get to 930, maybe 935, like maybe between 930 and 950, somewhere between there. You know he's good for it. So it's just gonna be to score 950 goals in the league. I mean, last year Austin Matthews was on pace to at least beat Gretzky, but now you're not going to beat Ovechkin. That one,
No.
that
And
one's going to
Austin
stand
Matthews-
for a long time.
And Matthews has had injury issues in multiple years.
Yep.
That's got to affect you down the road in chasing a record like this. I mean, think about it. 900 goals effectively, right?
Mhm.
That's 18 seasons, 50 goals a season.
Yeah.
Who the hell's
I
going
don't
to do
think
that?
Austin Matthews gets it. I think
Who's
Austin
gonna do
Matthews
that?
can potentially crack the top 5, but I think it's going to be too much of a challenge to get to Ovie and Wayne.
Even
Whoever's
Ovechkin
gonna-
said it earlier on in his career. He just goes, no one's going to touch, he was humble about it. He said, no one's going to touch that record.
Yeah.
Right. And
I
he
mean,
got lucky and talent, but I mean, he got and for a guy his age, putting up over 40 goals this year. I mean, you got to give it to him for that.
Oh, absolutely. At this
out of
stage
his-
of his career,
That's what it's going to take.
Out of his
They-
entire career, he's only scored less than 40 goals only 6 times, I think, if my numbers
No,
count
he's
that
had it.
correctly.
but
And
that's
most of
what
those
it's gonna
times were short
take.
seasons.
But that's what it's going to take. You got to have that kind of consistency. I'm sorry. I think Matthews, when he gets a little older, Ovie is not 39 this year. Matthews at 39 going to score 40 plus goals. I kind of doubt it.
And
I
he's
think
only
one of the
another thing too. He's only scored less than 50 11 times. I mean, and that's nuts.
Yeah, almost half his career.
I
He's
mean,
put
more
up
than 50.
goals. And you got to give Ovie this much too. He's had to share the pain of a lockout multiple times. His rookie year was completely canceled with a lockout.
Yep.
The 2013 season was shortened by almost half the year with a lockout. You had the pandemic in 2020 that shortened the season by about 14 games. Then the year after, you had the season shortened because of everything, and you were stuck with the in-division games. Instead of 82 games, they're only playing 56. So when you put all that into perspective, it makes it that much more impressive that this guy has pretty much had almost 2 full seasons taken away from him because of things beyond his control. So the fact that he is still found a way makes it insane.
Yeah, but that being said, he also, in terms of total games played, he tied the record with one less game played, and he broke the record with the same amount of games played. So I mean, you can look at it and say like, oh yeah, the shortened seasons are impressive, but at the end of the day, you look at it, it's still impressive no matter what, considering the amount of games played. He still did it in the same amount of games played. So it's what you look at. Quick poll: how many seasons do you think he scored less than 30?
2. One was a lockout. I know he had a 24-goal season once, and I think
27.
last year too. I think only 2.
27? Did he have a 27? And
the 2013 season, I believe 2013 he had 32.
Right.
Won MVP that year.
But in the strike shortened season, didn't he have less? I mean,
no, just in his entire
I think it was
career.
only 2.
Just in his entire career, guys. How many seasons did he have that were less than 30 goals?
2.
1.
Choose my prediction.
All right. Eric says 1. Alex 2. Rick, how many?
I only saw one of 27, I think it was, in looking at
one with
the
24,
list.
I remember.
So I'm going to go with Eric and 1 because I only saw one that registered with me, so I don't know.
Matt.
Yeah, I went to both of them. 1. I think.
It is 1. His official rookie season was 52 goals. He didn't. The only time he scored 24 goals was in 2020, 2021, when it was a 45-game season, and he scored 24 goals.
Okay, I thought it was 27, but I mean that's a shortened season.
And that's a short season.
Yeah,
it's a short season.
You prorate that. That's almost 40.
Yeah, scale that, and he's at 30, at least.
He's at 40.
Oh yeah, easy.
No, listen, it's impressive what he's done. He's not my favorite guy, so it's hard for me to say that. But you got to give somebody due, and it's impressive what he did.
Here's a perspective for you. The only other time where he played less than 50 games or within the 40s, it was 2012 to 2013. 48 games played. 2012. Sorry, whatever.
What year was that? 2012.
Whatever.
I was asleep, I think, that year.
The 12-13 season. That was a lockout year.
That was a lockout. Yeah.
A lockout year. And again, you look at it: 48 games played, 32 goals. That's
and he won MVP.
His consistency.
3-time Hart Trophy winner.
I'll say this: besides Mike Bossy, he's probably the most consistent goal scorer in the history.
Probably.
Well,
What about
look at Bossy.
Mario Lemieux?
I'm sorry, look at Mike Bossy. I'm saying those
about
two
Lemieux?
guys are probably your two most consistent goal scorers.
What about Lemieux?
I don't know. I off the top of my head, I can't say because I can say this
Lemieux
about
averaged
Bossy.
0.75 goals a game.
Yeah.
What's that?
Lemieux averaged 3 goals every 4 games.
Yeah, so those three guys have probably been the most consistent goal scorers
Yeah.
through like a whole career, right? Even though Bossy's was shorter, his whole career was pretty consistent until the end of his career. And one of the reasons he retired was he couldn't score 50 and his back was really bad.
Yeah, I wish I could play the NHL. Sorry, it's just a quick.
So I'm going to say that I think Ovie goes right up there with the most consistent goal scorers throughout a whole career.
I think he
like,
simply is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the
I
best.
think it's hard to say that he isn't the most consistent now that he beat Gretzky.
Yeah.
True.
He's had an incredible career. You got to give it to Ovie, just in general. Like,
I mean, only
just the
having
fact-
one season not getting 30 goals. I mean, just one season out of what 19 now, 20. That's nuts.
20, isn't it? It's like
Yeah,
it's
like
20.
what have you, and
not sure.
consistently scoring 50 goals in an era where the goalie equipment is much more sophisticated. There's goalie coaches, and it's just.
Didn't he also play in what was called the dead puck era?
yeah,
Or am I wrong on-
Mid-2010s. Mid-2010.
Right,
Yep.
Right. So he played in that too, right? And he was still consistent.
Yeah, it's
But also,
it's
like,
impressive.
just the fact of the style of hockey that he plays to stay healthy like he did and like dominate, like it's just impressive. The guy the guy played like he's a tank on the ice. It's awesome. It's just beautiful to watch sometimes. He plays this massive power forward and he just never gets hurt. And I think that's what also attracted me to Ovechkin also is because, like, you know, you always have that Russian stereotype, you know, all skill, soft, whatever.
Russian machine don't break.
Yeah, Ovie was not soft.
He's Ivan Drago on ice.
Yeah, he was not soft.
Now, Eric.
I remember when he was
I eat
first,
bowl of nails without milk for breakfast.
well, I remember when
You got
Ovie
that from
first started,
SpongeBob.
if I can get this in, when Ovie first started, he hit everything in sight, and they were talking about this guy won't have a long career because he's too physical for a goal scorer. But
Yeah, and then look at him. He's
he
6'3",
toned it down, and he had the long career.
Oh, he can still hit. He doesn't do
Oh,
it as
he's-
much
he's
anymore.
up
I'll
to
give
the
you
giant.
that.
Oh, not
But,
like
like-
in his first 2 seasons.
Oh,
Man,
absolutely
he,
not.
He was crazy.
He's
Trivia
6'3",
question,
238
That's what they said about him. That he's crazy for a guy with his talent to be hitting everything like he did. He was a nutcase.
Trivia question, gentlemen. How many
Yeah.
career games has Alexander Ovechkin missed?
Oh God,
I got the answer to this earlier
I
I
today.
mean, like
missed
for
one.
injury and illness.
With
it's like
anything
100,
with a
combined.
broken leg earlier this year.
Well,
it's like
what I-
182, right?
Wait, what I mean
less
is,
than that.
what I mean is not because of like the lockout or anything like that, right?
Yes,
Just-
correct. Yeah, we're not counting that.
right. I don't know.
Oh, then I don't know. I mean, I think it's 182 with the lockout with injury. I have no idea.
I'm gonna go with
It's not a lot.
Probably 50.
65.
Yeah, I was gonna say 55. So there you go.
Anyone else?
No.
No, I can begin to guess. I'll probably say between like the 50 and 60 somewhere, but somewhere in there.
Matt,
I
give me a guess here.
don't know.
Price is right.
Somewhere
Say
around
one.
40, 45.
It's the
Nah.
Price is right. Just say
20.
one. Okay, you guys don't get it.
75.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
That's not bad.
So who
Yeah.
was closest?
Pretty
Eric.
impressive.
Eric had 65.
Eric, you win the non-prize. Woo!
You win a Pinto.
A pin.
I would like to thank God first and foremost.
All right.
My family, my third grade teacher, and
Mrs.
my
Baldwin.
overly friendly neighbor who really believed in me, and all you guys. I love you all.
How come we're last?
Well, I mean, the third grade teacher is definitely more important. You gotta.
We ended
I'd
up
like
last.
to thank my third grade teacher. She was an absolute rocket.
Listen, if someone needed to feed the fucking fish in the classroom, she knew how to do it.
And she took my virginity, so
Oh my
Oh,
God!
Rick out here.
I
rolling.
had to go there. Come on.
Red flag.
Okay.
All right, play the CSI case.
I'm in jail now.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone send him. I'm calling the cops on Rick.
Christ, Rick.
Oh my
We were all having a good old time.
We're all having a good time, and then Rick comes in with like, "Oh yeah, not only was she a rocket and fed the fish well, she sucked them good too."
Well, you're the one who said rocket. What did you mean by that then? Did I take it wrong?
Oh my God!
Rick, it was his third grade teacher, and you're bringing
Jesus.
that up.
Hey, he was an early starter. So,
And eight.
yeah.
You're gonna get us canceled. That
I'm
makes
not-
my
I'm not
Buffalo
showing any
Terror comic
graphics.
book pain.
I'm not showing. Hey, listen.
Tomorrow morning
I'm
we
not
have
even
no
gonna
channel.
go there. Let's move on quickly.
All right. Well, anyone else have anything to add with the Ovie talk before we move on?
No, dude, let's get into the wild
No,
card.
let's move on.
Okay, so suddenly, where we were so excited about how great these wild card races were, have suddenly kind of gone to shit over the last few weeks. And not in the perspective that all the teams suddenly suck, but a team is broken away in each conference. So in the Western Conference, the St. Louis Blues just forgot how to lose. They've now won, as of today, 12 straight games. They're on an absolute bender.
Wait a second. As of today, I heard a few days ago they had won 12.
No, yeah, maybe
They might be on
haven't played
13
since.
now. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly, but
Did they play another game since?
Oh,
I
well,
know.
but you said as of today. It was like 3-4 days ago they won their 12th in a row. That's why I thought that's weird.
No, I
Sorry.
think that
Still
was
technically
Saturday.
true.
I'd
As of
like to be
today,
accurate.
they have
they're
won
playing
2.
Winnipeg tonight. So no, I think Rick is right. They beat Colorado 5-4 on
But
Saturday.
I thought that
So,
was what got it to 12.
Yeah.
It
No,
might
he's-
have been. I
he's
could be
right.
wrong, but okay. Maybe it's me that's wrong, but I thought it
Yeah,
he's
was
it's
right.
2 days
currently at
before
12. I just checked.
Okay, it was
Still
me
at
that's
12.
wrong. I
Yeah,
apologize.
they're on a win streak of 12. Yep.
Yeah. So the Blues have won 12 straight games. They're getting vibes of that 18-19 Blues team.
My
You know?
God, and it's with Jim Montgomery too.
Oh,
I just want to
yeah.
blow my brains out. Oh,
Jim's getting Vietnam flashbacks.
What's with the Bruins getting rid of good
Not-
coaches that end up going and doing
Jack
great
Adams.
things?
not only is
God.
it giving me the 2018-2019 vibes in which the Bruins lost the Stanley Cup final, now it's those vibes with the Bruins' old head coach, and it just makes me want to vomit all over Don Sweeney's couch.
Hey, are you going to ever fire him?
No, they won't.
Should be.
They should, but they're
They
not
really
going
Listen,
to.
Jamey is the most nicest conservative person I've ever met when it comes to people's job security. If he is calling for Don Sweeney's job,
John
that
Sweeney.
should be all you need to know.
That's his other brother.
Oh,
No, he's a
Don-
I mean, it's not even just
Jamey.
Montgomery too. Like, think about Bruce
Rick.
Cassidy.
I said
Great
Don.
coach.
No, I
And
know.
they got rid of
Bruins-
him, and he went and won
You're
the cup.
Stop talking over each other.
Yeah, but I mean the Bruins. Yeah, what the year they fired Cassidy goes and wins a cup. Yeah, it's great. Love this. Love seeing that. I mean, I loved it for Bruce. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's yeah. They have good coaches, and they never let them. They never let them go. They had two. They fired three Jack Adams finalists: Claude Julien, Bruce Cassidy.
Julian kind of ran his course.
Julian did. No, I'll
Yeah.
agree to that. Julian ran his course, but they
But
still
Julian,
fired
I
him.
think,
Got
winning
forced
games
out,
2-1
Didn't
in
players
December.
not like him in
But
the
it-
locker room?
Okay, I didn't hear any of that because you talked over each other, Alex and Matt.
Go ahead, Nordy. Say something.
Now we'll have
No, I was
silence.
gonna say, I think with Cassidy, I believe some of the players didn't like him, so Sweeney just fired
Yeah,
him.
Jake DeBruskin.
But it was more than
Yeah,
DeBrusque,
Jake
I
DeBrusque.
thought.
No, but even Bergeron said it. Hey, we fired Cassidy. He's gonna go win a cup. Yeah, he fucking did, you bum. Because you fucking blew it in the 2022-2023 season. I said that one right, Rick. Suck a fart. Boom.
What?
And then
Wait,
now
wait,
with,
wait,
I mean,
you said
Montgomery.
what? Right.
And now Montgomery's gonna make the playoffs with the St. Louis Blues, who are not that great of a team. Like I'm sorry, they're not that great of a team.
No, they're all right.
I
They're like,
mean-
they got some pretty good young players, the Blues.
I think
No,
Robert.
Cassidy,
okay.
I mean,
They're not a Stanley Cup contending team. Come on.
Oh no, I don't think
Come on,
No,
let,
no, I don't
us
think
let's
anyone's
grow
saying-
up here. Let's grow up.
No, they don't have.
I
the
I
think
mean,
Robert
again,
Thomas
it's a
is one of the
show,
most underrated centers in the game today.
Oh yeah, I love Robert Thomas. Oh, great player. But it's just
Yeah,
like Kyrou. Dylan Holloway got hurt though. Apparently, it's not looking good for him though.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned Dylan Holloway. Talk about fucking Edmonton giving up Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg for
Okay,
fucking
wait,
pennies.
we're talking
dumbest
St.
shit
Louis.
ever.
Wait a second. Dylan Holloway, if they lose him before the playoffs, that could hurt.
No,
Yeah.
of course. But if he comes back, I'm just talking about like look at what Edmonton gave up. They let Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg walk.
Well, yeah, but didn't they leave? Didn't they fire him after that? Or was that
Well, no, he
Bowman
was
that
on his
let him
way
walk?
out anyway. His contract wasn't being renewed anyway.
Well, he was an RFA. They got, I think, Broberg and
Yeah, they were. Yeah. That's
they're
what happened.
RFAs. They got offer sheeted, and I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't have to.
No, but,
St. Louis didn't have to give up much for that because the contract
GM
values weren't that high.
The GM didn't he get fired after that? And then they hired Bowman.
He was being replaced. He was being replaced anyway. Like he was out.
Anyway?
It was his last year.
So his last thing was fuck you.
They shouldn't have let him make that decision. Why did they let him make that stupid decision then?
But that's it. I don't understand what the fuck is going on in Edmonton.
Hey,
Like,
at least we still have the first round pick. Oh,
They
wait.
let him sign
they
Jeff
don't.
Skinner and Victor Arvidsson before signing Broberg and fucking Holloway.
Oh,
Like it made
Alex.
no sense.
Made no
Like,
sense.
Alex,
What are you
Don't
doing?
forget Vogel. Don't forget Vogel.
Yeah,
He's having a
Warren
good year too.
Yeah, he's what?
Don't
He's with the
team-
King. He's with the Kings now, right?
Yep.
Warren Vogel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good player. Let him go for. Yeah, now look at where Edmonton is. They were what near the top of their division last year, and now they're third.
They
in
made
their
the cup
division.
final last year.
Yeah,
Let's
look
ask
at
this
that.
question then. Edmonton repeat kind of the performance they had last year?
No,
in the
not
playoffs?
unless
No.
McDavid has an
Everyone-
insane year.
No, I
Kings have
agree.
beaten the first round.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're going to go.
Not
far.
unless McDavid, Draisaitl, and everyone, like literally everyone up and down that roster needs to have one hell of a year. Colorado's gonna, if they make it past Dallas, if that's gonna end up being the matchup, which it's looking like it's going to be. They're gonna have to go through them. They're gonna have to go through Vegas, Los Angeles, and I think that's gonna be their first round matchup. And Winnipeg, I just don't see it. McDavid's going to need to play on a whole nother level, and it's not just him. Corey Perry, everybody.
Well, you also have to talk about how healthy could Edmonton be right now, because if those two guys, when they come back, do you think they're really going to be 100%? Probably not.
Dude,
I mean,
I like to
I
point
was
this
thinking
out.
the same thing, actually, Alex. I was thinking exactly that.
But look back at a lot of the other past, like NHL, like playoff years. Like a lot of players play through injuries. I mean, what Chara played through a broken jaw, Bergeron a punctured lung. Like
At this
so
time of
many
the year,
players do it.
at this time of the year, every single player on the team is dealing with something.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Ivan
right?
Provorov would have played with a grade 3 AC joint sprain. That is one of the craziest things I ever saw. He's
Blake
muscle-
Wheeler played a game with 2 ruptured testicles. Like
How
you
did he
win.
lift his arm?
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
honestly,
I'm
I can't
sorry.
beat that. I
You're
can't beat
special
that.
kind of insane if you can deal with that pain throughout a hockey game.
What?
You would have had to
testicles?
lift me off the ice.
I mean,
Sorry.
shit, Matt getting up out of his chair just ruptures his testicles. So I mean, like there we go.
Mine are useless anymore, so it doesn't.
Oh
bother
my
me.
god, I know you kicked yours on your way out of the bathroom today.
I stepped
You
on them
got
a
too
couple of
excited
times.
about the third grade teacher that
I stepped on them. I stepped on them a couple of times. I'll admit.
I mean, whatever. The only team in the West that has even a sniffing chance is maybe Calgary, and they need some help. They're gonna need Minnesota to lose, and they're gonna need to win. So it's like
they can't score though. That's the issue with them. They can't
No,
score.
they're gonna need help. I said they're gonna need help, but that's
Wait
the
a
only team I
second.
see.
They have 2 games in hand. That's their only saving grace, Calgary. But I mean, they're 6 points out with so few games
Potentially,
left.
potentially,
It's so
two.
hard to get there at this point.
Potentially 2 points out. Let's call it that way. Let's say Calgary, if,
Right,
if
they-
they scale it and let's say
Yeah.
they win the next 2 games. Let's just say that they're at 2 points out. They're still going to need some help because I think it's going to be difficult to outbeat Minnesota right now,
Yeah,
especially with
they're
the way Fleury's playing and is it Gustafson for them?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not out of it, Calgary, but yeah, they got to win those 2 games in hand. What about Vancouver? You think they?
Nope,
got
not a shot.
They're
I
pretty
don't
much
think
set
so either.
there.
No, they're good. They're done.
Yeah.
I just want to take this moment to thank Craig Conroy for taking Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee. Joel Farabee, since the trade, 25 games played, 3 goals, 2 assists. Morgan Frost, since the trade, 26 games played, 2 goals, 6 assists.
Yeah,
I
but
just-
Calgary has some
Please.
things need to work out, dude.
I just wish they would have fallen lower because I think we're gonna have their first round pick.
You'll trade
No,
it.
you're
You're gonna trade it. I don't see Montreal keeping any.
You're probably right.
You guys-
Get
yeah,
the
you
second
guys are
line
on-
center.
You guys are on the cusp of
that second line center.
Yeah,
we're probably going to get rid of both our first round picks.
Yeah,
to be
your
honest.
picks right now are just purely leverage. It's not. You guys aren't going to
I
draft
agree.
any more high end.
Yeah, okay, but still, like a higher first round
Come on,
pick from
grow
them
up.
is a better deal. You know, it's a better.
Yeah,
pick.
no, it's a lot of
That's
leverage.
all.
I agree.
So, anyway, but you're right. I don't think we picked that guy. That pick.
All
But
the other teams are cooked.
since we've kind of assessed the West now. St. Louis looks like they're in the driver's seat. Minnesota, it would take a miracle for them to fall out of this too. Let's move on to the East. Little more likely, but Montreal looks like they've escaped from the pack. The Rangers are 4 points back, I think? 4 or 6. I can't remember off the top of my head.
We got a 6-point
6
lead,
with a game in hand.
but everybody behind us has a game in hand.
So here's the thing.
Currently, the Rangers are getting killed.
Yeah, I was going to
Are
say
they
Rangers
losing
currently
tonight?
playing down
3-0 right now.
If they lose tonight, they're out. If we beat Detroit tomorrow,
No, they won't. They
they're
still won't be
out.
mathematically out.
Not mathematically.
Realistically speaking.
I'm not talking mathematically, but realistically.
Likely, yes. I would agree with you 100%.
It's crazy going over this now. I think Detroit's probably the only team with a shot. If Detroit wins, because Detroit plays Montreal tomorrow.
Yeah, if they beat us tomorrow
In regulation.
I have to say, I've made predictions, and that's the one game I actually called it a loss, a gut feeling. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But if we do beat them tomorrow, come on.
It's definitely done if you win that.
Listen, the Islanders have this thing where at the end of the season, they're like the Buffalo Sabres. They always go on this run and they make it close. Do I think that they make it? No, probably not.
They got to catch 7 points in 6 games. Come on.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, they wouldn't. I'm not tiebreaker. Never mind. Rick's right. Well, actually, they'd probably get the tiebreaker at that point if they caught up at that point.
No,
so realistically, it's 6 points in 6 games. But still,
but you're not. I don't think you're understanding. Like, it's just. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I think Montreal is going to be a solid lock in that second wild card spot. Hell, I mean, maybe they could, depending on how Ottawa plays, they might be able to even sneak up to the first wild card spot.
No, 5 points. I'm telling you, at this time of the season with games,
it's difficult.
So
but there's an opportunity. No, I understand that.
Somebody.
It's difficult, but there's a path for them to do it. I mean, there's also a path. There's a path for them to fall out, but it's unlikely.
Mathematically, there's still a path.
That's how wide their path is.
I don't think you guys are going to be able to get past Washington, though. That's going to be the biggest.
Oh, yeah. Thing. See, this is where I disagree with you. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but if I'm Washington and I'm seeing the Canadians coming for us, I'm worried.
I'm not.
Okay. I'm going to make my comp that I made on Flyer. I'm going to say it again. This year's Montreal Canadiens team is a 2015-16 Flyers to a T. One elite line, a rookie defenseman going absolutely bonkers right now, 1 and 2 other really good forwards, and a bunch of holes elsewhere. Very good team. And guess what? 2015-16 Flyers. Ended with 96 points. Guess who they played in the first round? The Washington Capitals. They pushed them 6 games as well. I have the same exact end result if they play them.
I don't think they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get swept. But Jesus,
Washington
dude, like up and down that lineup, Washington has you guys beat.
Here's a take you haven't thought of. Washington Capitals all year have been on this. Ovie's going to break the record. Ovie's going to break the record, and he does. That's a letdown now. And I wouldn't be surprised if their play comes down a bit because that big thing all year is gone. And now what do?
No, not a player like Ovechkin.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm just throwing it out there.
The only way I see Montreal winning that series is if Montembeault catch fire in a ball.
Yeah, you don't. I don't think you have any. You don't have any Stanley Cup playoff experience, or not that much of it.
I have no problem with your takes, but remember, Montreal's got nothing to lose there.
You're right, and that's dangerous.
And that's what makes them dangerous.
Yeah,
that's
but I think you're really overselling Montreal's
I'm just saying,
ability there.
Wait, I didn't say they're going to beat Washington. I said if I'm Washington, I'm worried about that team.
I'm not.
That's what I said.
What worries me about Washington is the injuries right now. With Logan Thompson, he's hurt.
Right.
Portis is hurt. So if they go into the playoffs and these guys aren't healthy, then I'm a little concerned about Washington. But I think Washington still has enough depth that they should beat.
Their defense.
They should beat us. 100%. They should beat us.
You're going into the playoffs with Charlie Lindgren as your starter.
Right.
That's
I'm saying there's a way, there's a path there for a win for Montreal. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but man, if I'm Washington, I'm worried about it.
I would give Montreal a 20 to 25% chance of winning that series. Probably closer to 20.
Yeah, but then you're gonna end up facing either the Panthers, Tampa, or Toronto. Actually,
I don't care.
No,
I
they'd
don't
be
care
in the
beyond.
they'd be in the Metro
they'd be-
bracket.
yeah, they'd
They
I
would get
don't-
Carolina or New Jersey.
I don't care beyond the first round. Why? Because it's unlikely they were going to get there. This is great that we're going to have it.
I think
And
it was
if they
unlikely you guys
win,
were gonna make the playoffs.
That's our
Actually, no, I
Stanley Cup.
Actually, you
Our-
know what? I said you guys had a high chance of making the playoffs this year because I liked Montreal and where they are and what they've done. And I said that I was surprised they didn't do a little bit more at the deadline. But then again, you didn't know they were going to be there. So I think that's a fair assessment. I'm happy Montreal's there. I'm happy Ottawa's there. I'm happy Olmark's going to get a chance. I mean, I hate Tim Stutzla, but, I'm happy Ottawa's going to be there.
Listen, our Stanley Cup is round one. After that, I don't give them much of a chance, but I think they have a chance in round one.
And if Ottawa wins their next game, they're automatically in the playoffs. They solidify it. So
Yeah, Ottawa.
Win it for
We're not
Giroux.
catching them. Ottawa's in. I can't see
yeah,
them
Ottawa.
falling.
Yeah, the only way Ottawa doesn't is they lose out and everyone else wins. So I mean, and I
But-
don't see that as a possibility.
Yeah, with so few games to go, it's still unlikely that the other teams are going to win all their games. Like Montreal, they just have to win 2 out of the 5 and get an overtime to get the 88 points they figure it's going to take. The other teams have to win 4 and 5.
No, I'm
their
not
remaining.
disagreeing.
That's not going to happen.
No, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm saying it's not solidified yet.
No, of course it's not mathematical. I get it, but
Gentlemen, I have a hot take. Hot take alert. Ready for this? Ottawa is going to surpass Florida in the standings.
it's possible.
Florida is struggling.
2-point difference. That's a possibility.
Florida, get Tampa in the first round, and guess who Toronto is going to be stuck with?
Tampa.
Florida.
Toronto would get Florida in that
Toronto or
situation.
Florida. It's a possibility if Florida doesn't turn it
And
around.
if that happens,
No,
Florida
Toronto would. No,
turns
Toronto
on
wouldn't.
right
No,
at that
Toronto
moment.
wouldn't. Oh yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes,
I
they would.
I
They're
misunderstood that. Oh God, yes, I want to see it. Oh God, I want to see it. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give that to me.
Give an excited school.
Give
girl.
that to me. Oh my God, then they're definitely not making it out of the first round. Like they're definitely not making. Like if they faced Ottawa, they're probably going to make it out of the first round. But if they face Florida, no fucking chance.
I'm gonna say this, and you know how much I hate Toronto. No, a first round. It worries me they're gonna win the first round. I don't care who they're playing.
If they played
Not
Ottawa,
Florida, I
for
don't
sure, I
know.
think that's almost a lock in for them, unless Allmark plays out of his goddamn mind.
Listen, if Toronto is built differently this year, they've got a good coach. A
Yeah,
different
I'm not-
coach. It's not
Yeah,
Sheldon Keefe.
absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
think there's a little more like accountability on that team now. I'm not saying they're going to go far, but I think they could win a first round.
In fact-
it worries me. I
In
don't want to
fact-
see it.
I think the two teams that actually benefited
Oh, I can
most
take
from the
that.
trade deadline are Toronto and Colorado. Toronto got their defense that they so desperately needed in Brandon Carlo. And then you look at Colorado, they got some depth center in Charlie Coyle. I mean, freaking Colorado retooled their entire team this year, piece-wise, to figure out where the holes were. I mean, if I'm also going back to the West, I'm very scared of Colorado. They are sneaky.
Yes, I'd be
Okay.
scared of Colorado.
Actually, question.
And you know one reason why
Hold on.
it's the 2 goaltenders they've got. Like I
Eric's got
think
a
teams
question.
can. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, go ahead. I didn't have much to say.
To
But
bring
the
this back to what we
goalies.
were talking about earlier before, and now what Cam just said is interesting. If Colorado wins the cup this year, would you consider that the biggest retool, the quickest retool in AHL history?
Oh,
Wait a second. Wait a
easy.
second.
The,
No,
the fastest retool,
50%
absolutely.
of their team.
you guys
Yeah,
are using
they
the wrong term.
overhauled almost the entire roster.
I never
Your
said
side
anything about a
defenders,
fucking
defense,
retool.
all changed.
Wait, I never said anything about a retool.
No, I know. No, I'm just
said
saying, I'm just saying,
rebuild.
like,
No, he's
Talk
talking
to our
about
previous-
a retool in general. I'm going to say yes. They did it within what 42 games. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
as
of
far
course,
yeah.
absolutely.
I get that. If that's what
Something
you
I
mean,
argue.
it might be.
yeah. No, not
Do you
rebuild.
think of
Rebuild,
any
not
other
rebuild.
teams?
Didn't rebuild.
Even
I
if they
like
make the
you-
cut, even if they make the Western Conference final, I'll still consider that like a good W for them. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Can we think of any other teams that have done a retool that quick in the season and gone on to success like
season?
that?
No, I can't think of a team in
Yeah.
season that overhauls almost their entire roster. I mean, Christ, they got Miko. They got what? Jack Drury, Martin Necas, Charlie Coyle. Who else?
Brock
they got
Nelson,
Brock Nelson,
Brock
Lindgren,
Nelson.
Blackwood, Wedgwood,
Yeah.
Jimmy VC.
You think
Like,
they make a lot
they
of wood,
rebuilt.
huh?
They definitely.
Joe Sakic
like wood
has
above
balls
a
of
mountain.
steel. You
That-
gotta give
that's-
it to him. Balls of steel.
Holy fuck.
Who has balls of steel?
The GM.
Superman
Yeah.
has balls of steel, from what I understand.
Jesus
Their
Christ.
GM.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting playoffs. Carolina, I think, is going to fall off a cliff at some point because I don't know what they're doing with that team, but I don't think it's going to be sustainable. I think Rod Brindamore is the only reason why they're relevant, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think that coach just has a great system that it's just working for everybody. So I think that's the biggest key.
Well,
New
that could
Jersey,
work.
I don't think is going to go far.
No, New Jersey.
Well, there you go. So now with New Jersey, if we end up having to face them after beating Washington, if we do that,
I don't think you can.
that's a series doesn't worry me that much either.
Wow.
Without
You're overselling Montreal. I think New Jersey's better than Montreal. They got a better goaltender in Jacob Markstrom. I mean, they got Luke Hughes. Is Dougie Hamilton coming back? I think he'll be ready for playoffs. The only one who I think is not going to be there is going to be Jack, because Jack's out for the season.
That's fine.
I just had a
I'm
brain
not going to
fart.
change what I
I
said.
want to acknowledge that Joe Sakic is president of Hockey Ops. Why did I think he was still GM?
No, he's not. No, he's not the GM.
No.
I don't know who the GM of Colorado is.
Chris McFarland's the GM now. I had a brain fart. I'm sorry. I wanted to correct that. I completely forgot Joe Sakic's not the GM anymore. Chris McFarland has balls of steel.
Yeah.
Balls of steel. Got to give him props for that overhaul. But yeah, you got to give it to Colorado. I have to agree. Them and Toronto are probably the two biggest winners. I will still consider Florida too if Marchand plays enough and it ends up working out for them.
They also got Seth. They also
Could be.
got Seth Jones on the cheap
Good point.
at half
That's
the
a good
value.
point.
So I mean, like that's Seth Jones at that contract value or a little bit over, like maybe a $6 million contract. That's a fine contract, just not $9 million. You know what I mean? Like I think Seth Jones is a $6 million guy,
That's
not
fair.
a 9.
I can agree with that.
And they're
I'll-
going to get Ekblad back at what, game 3?
I think game
Three.
2, game 3.
Game
And
3.
you get
yeah.
Chuck back soon too.
Yeah, I mean
And
that
Kachuk is going to be ready. Yeah.
that line is going to be fucking disgusting to play against. Marchand, Bennett, and Kachuk. Oh God, where do I just sign my waiver?
Good luck,
And
Toronto.
also, their guys don't they're not able to play in the playoffs like the Toronto guys are. You know, they lose something. I don't know, once it's the
I
regular.
still, well,
postseason.
Toronto's missing Stanley Cup pedigree. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean, that's what I think they're
So,
missing. I
yeah.
don't think they have a champion on that roster.
With all those guys coming back or whatever for the playoffs and stuff, yeah, I think I like Florida's chances a lot better.
A lot better.
Lot
There's no
better.
question about it. I mean, you know, still on the topic of you know teams that benefited. You know, and it was a nice pivot from the previous conversation. Yeah, you know, I was going to mention Florida as another piece. They got Seth Jones to help with the defensive pieces, and they got Brad Marchand. And Brad Marchand is a historically good playoff piece.
Mhm.
And you're going to see how well Seth Jones performs too. I don't know. Good all around for
How's
Florida.
Marchand's production so far in Florida?
I mean,
Not
I
too
don't-
much so far, but
Yeah,
I
not too
mean,
much.
he just got there not too long ago.
Yeah,
So,
it normally takes about 10
Oh.
games plus to get going on a new team. You know, you got to figure that. You know what I mean? It's not
And
like he's-
sometimes,
unless if
moves-
your name's Marty Natchez and you're playing with
And-
Nathan McKinnon.
but wait, and
Yeah,
sometimes
that helps
moves
too.
like that at the trade deadline for players like that changing teams don't work out at all.
No, you're right.
he's got 6 games played, 1 assist. I mean, that's not bad.
It's
My-
not bad.
No, but that's not terrible for him. I mean, he's still for this season,
Let's see,
67
6
games
games,
played, 67 games
assist,
played, 48
10.
48 points.
No, but the season he's playing
That's like-
good
yeah,
as a whole.
17 assists for the season.
And this is now, mind you, this is also coming off of multiple surgeries. Like that's pretty damn good for a guy who's coming off a hip surgery and among other things. I mean, that's pretty damn good. At what 36 years old?
one assist isn't good for
37.
anybody. I don't care
In
who you
6
are.
games, dude.
1 assist in
Nah,
6
but-
games.
Coming off an injury plus
Top 6
adapting
guy?
to
Yeah,
the team.
like I that's a
6
cold
guy?
take.
Where do you
Nice.
think he signs in the offseason, in all honesty?
If he wins with Florida, if Florida repeats, Marchand will probably take a discount to stay with Florida. And I would say he would get $3 million there. If he hits the open market, he's getting $7 million somewhere. There's no way he
Hey,
doesn't.
whoever that team is will be making a mistake. Just based
Yeah,
off
he's
the
not
fact
getting
that-
$7 million from no.
Oh no, a lot of other hockey writers would tend to disagree with you.
Okay.
He might get it, but
Yeah.
that would be a mistake.
Mistake.
Just because of his age.
Well, it depends.
wear
No,
and
it
tear.
depends on the term. Depends on the
If
term.
it's 1
Okay,
year,
maybe.
that's one thing.
If it's 2 years at $7 million, I think that's even fine. You got to look at the
Yeah,
cap
'cause you
projections.
can
There's
of
a
where
cap
it's gonna
going
go.
up, I guess.
Yeah, the
I
cap
guess
is going up
that's fine.
$5 million this year and $9 million next year, and you're gonna worry about a guy like Brad Marchand's
that's fair.
performance.
If it's 2 years, it's okay. Anything past that, no. I will say, I think Florida has second round exit written all over them this year, and it has nothing to do with the team itself. It's more the fact that they have all this wear and tear in them. You got to remember they've been to back-to-back Cup Finals now. This team has had a lot of mileage in them.
Yeah, but look
I
at
don't
Tampa.
think they make the run they had in the last 2 years.
But look at
I
Tampa.
think and look at some of the other teams that have
Tampa
done
went
that.
to 3 straight Cup Finals, did they not?
Did they go to 3? I thought they went to
I
2.
think they did.
Won
they
2,
went to
lost
3.
1. 3 straight.
Oh, you're right. Okay. So it can happen, but
Because they
I
lost-
still
yeah,
think
because
the
they lost to
Florida team has
Colorado.
a lot of wear and tear on them. I have a feeling they're going to get fatigued this year. I think, I don't know. I like the move. I was very low on Tampa at the beginning of the year. I even said that was my bold prediction to miss the playoffs just barely because I thought Vasilevsky's back was going to give out on him, and I was dead wrong about that. I could see Tampa win that division, end up coming out of the Atlantic and be the representative this year.
Yeah,
I
I'm
could
not
see
seeing
it
that,
be
yeah.
like Tampa and Washington, to be honest with you. Really good.
What moves did Tampa make at the deadline? I'm trying to think.
They added Bjorkstrand
Gordon,
and
Yanni Gordon broke.
Yanni
Yeah,
Gordon.
they got
Yeah.
Yanni Gord back from one of their
Okay, so
original,
they-
I think their earliest cup
Yeah.
cup win in the 2020s.
And Bjorkstrand, good top 6 guy right there. Great ad. Great ad. One of the most
Hey,
underrated moves, I think, of the deadline.
Yanni Gordon has 10 points in 15 games for Tampa. He's looking
Tampa's
good.
another team we're going to talk about that has been a
Looking good at Tampa.
potential winner. They've been great. You know who's been a loser that we all expected? The team that traded for Peter Mrazek, Detroit.
Yeah, oh my god, dude. I was at the wedding in Punta Cana, and one of the
Oh, that's why you went down there.
yeah, beautiful wedding, by the way. I'm never drinking again,
Liar.
ever. At least not till next week
There you go.
or until Friday when I actually go out with my girlfriend for drinks. But like, it's just. I was joking with him because he's from Michigan, and so he's a Detroit Red Wings fan. And so I'm just like, dude, can you explain to me the logic of Peter Mrazek? And he just goes, I really don't want to talk about Steve Yzerman right now.
Yzer scam. I've been saying it for 2 years now. He's got to be on the hot seat now, right? This is going to be 9 years in a row they missed the playoffs. He came there, what, like 4 or 5 years ago? When you officially say that you have to make progress at this point. They haven't made the playoffs since 2016. When does Detroit look in the mirror and say, crap, we've got to do something? We've had
They
enough
don't-
damn draft picks.
They don't have their goaltender, and they don't have their a solid defense. If you look
Yeah,
at it,
they have
like
one-
outside of Moritz Seider, like cool.
And 1 or 2 good defensemen.
Well, yeah,
Hey, let's trade Wallman for nothing. That
Yeah,
was,
that
in
was
my
bad.
opinion, the worst trade that,
That was bad.
Yzerman made.
Not even for nothing. They
Nothing.
gave up a second. They
Yeah.
gave up
And
a
a second.
second.
That gives me Shane Gostisbehere PTSD. Like, what are we doing? They were the biggest loser, in my opinion. Them in New Jersey. But at least I can give New Jersey a little bit of a break because Jack Hughes just went down and you're kind of limited in what you want to do. But they said they were still going to go for it. They didn't do really shit. And while
And
they're going to
Sheldon-
make the playoffs still,
and
no
Sheldon
one
Keefe
thinks
is your
they're a
coach.
threat.
And Sheldon Keefe is your coach. I remember when Jamey credited Sheldon Keefe as being a good coach, and Rick's head just like popped up, and he just goes, "Wait, what? Did you just say that?
Great.
Is he a bad coach? No, he's a good offensive minded coach, but he's got no good defensive structure. That's his biggest issue.
I agree. Rick,
And this-
I
and
think
this-
Montreal has a better chance of going to the Cup than New Jersey does this year.
Then New Jersey has too many injuries. They're not healthy.
But they're gonna beat Montreal then.
They are.
No, if they played Montreal in a series, I'd pick Montreal.
Yeah, I would lean to if New Jersey
I would-
Montreal. I'd lean toward Montreal.
I would pick Montreal.
No, I'm not so crazy.
You are
Mr.
crazy.
Cam.
You are crazy.
How come you're not calling them crazy?
They are. I think they're fucking
okay.
batshit.
That's fair.
What about New Jersey appeals to you? They don't have Dougie Hamilton. They don't have Jack Hughes.
No.
Luke Hughes is now banged up.
Siegenthaler's out also. Another defenseman that they
I don't
lost,
think-
so.
It depends on when these guys come back.
I don't
dude.
think
Like,
Markstrom's 100% still. Like
I'm not sure he's a great goalie in the playoffs, if I'm right.
Markstrom, yeah. I mean, he's been good this
he's a
year,
good
but
goalie in
he's
general.
definitely
No,
hasn't
Luke
been
Hughes
good
is
since
Luke
come
Hughes
back.
is Luke Hughes is playing according to Daily Faceoff.
He said he's
Hughes,
banged
Brett-
up. He
He's
said
banged
he's
up. I
banged
didn't
up.
say he was out.
But you still got Brett Pesci, Brian Dumoulin,
Pesci's
Jonathan
had a bad
Kovac.
year. Pesci's had a
Yeah.
bad year.
So what? Brian Dumoulin, Jonathan Kovacevic, Brendan Dillon, and Seamus.
This is what you're convincing me with?
Over
This bag of
what?
kid?
A lot of NHL experience, like Brett Pitt, like a lot of playoff experience versus
You're
some
trying to
guys who
convince
can't
me
even
with the
sniff
bag
it.
of
Yeah.
kid you just talked to me about? Use
God.
Nico Hischier. Use Jesper Bratt. Use Dawson.
Oh no,
Mercer.
I'm talking
Those are
about the
guys who
defense.
can
I'm talking about the
convince
defensive depth as opposed to Montreal, dude. Like, yeah, sure, you have Nico Hischier, of course.
Montreal's
Brad,
first line currently
Timo Meier.
blows New Jersey's out the water.
Oh, sure, but it's going to come down to a defensive game and the goaltender, and I think that's where the advantage goes to New Jersey.
If you had Markstrom at 100%, I'd take Markstrom over Montembeault.
Oh yeah, every day.
As of right now,
Yeah.
I'd take Montembeault right now because A, he's playing better games right now, and B, I think Markstrom's still playing hurt.
By the way, I hate you, Linus Olmark, because I wanted to bring Dawson Mercer here. Thanks a lot for vetoing that
That would
trade,
have been a good
asshole.
ad for you guys.
Asshole.
And
You
I
can
want
use
to
that
add
asshole.
something. I want to add something on Monty.
No, you can't add.
Montembeault, he has never played in the playoffs. We don't know if he raises the game up or not. Yet.
Rick, you going to give me credit for defending your team?
I can tell you who on the
No.
Canadians will. Without a doubt.
You can what?
I can tell you who on the Canadians will raise their game in the playoffs, and
The whole team.
yes. But
One thing I
in
will say-
particular, obviously the first line, but Lane Hudson's going to turn on a new gear. I mean,
One
I
thing
am curious to
every
see how
single-
Lane Hudson plays in the playoffs because it is a lot more physical of a game. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
One
I'm not
thing
going
I
to say he's going to be bad, but I'm curious to see how he adapts.
One thing I will say about Montreal going into the
he just-
playoffs, though, is that I'm really excited to see the Bell Center and how they're going to react to it. I think it's going to be
oh, it's gonna
electric.
be
Oh, it'll be buzzing.
Electric.
Yeah,
You know
like I
that.
think
It's gonna be
playoff games in
bumping.
Montreal is going to really get that team going. The only downside is that if it goes to a game 7, they're not playing in their home barn, and I think that's going to be a detriment.
I don't think, like I said, I got Caps in 6 if that's the series, but we'll see.
We'll see. How about this one? One acquisition you'd like to see your team make in the offseason, everybody.
Anything.
Matty Beniers.
Now, like
You're
one in
not
particular.
getting Matty Beniers. Stop it.
Matty
Stop
Beniers
that.
for Cam York, Edmonton's first, another second, and maybe another piece if need be.
you're going to
No,
trade
you're
your
going to need to get.
best
You're going to
young
need to give.
defensive defenseman,
What?
You're going to give up a defenseman for that?
Cam
no,
York. You're going to trade Cam York.
I
Oh,
wouldn't do
Matty
that.
Beniers? Yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's-
who's going to defend?
Yeah, I think you're
You still
going to
have
see.
Travis Sanheim. You still have Jamey Drysdale. You still have Ristolainen.
Hey,
for
Jamie
those-
Yeah, but then you run into an
Coming.
now you go back to an aging problem. No, I think that's a bad trade for the Flyers.
And Matty Beniers is 22. What?
You run into an aging problem in your defense.
Bro,
No,
you have
we
Oliver
we still have
Polk and
Emil
Andre
Andre, who's
coming
young.
soon.
Oh God,
Drysdale's what 22. We got
Drysdale's
Boston,
22.
Drysdale's an
Sanheim,
offensive
28.
defenseman.
I
You're
can't-
missing my
20.
point.
Emil
No,
Andre's 23.
I'd
This is
keep
young
York's a
deep-
defensive defenseman. I wouldn't trade him.
I'd keep Cam York. I'd keep Cam
I
York
would-
all day.
I'm only
I'd go
moving
for.
Cam York if it leads to a top 6 center.
I'd
If it's
offer.
not a top 6 center, I'm not
No,
moving.
I'd offer sheet for Mason McTavish or see if
I
you can
don't
get Mason
think that-
McTavish from
I
Anaheim.
think
That's
Anaheim
where I'm
matches
going.
anything you do.
Yeah, I know he has a ton of money. So I don't know about an offer.
I think
sheet.
we-
Gotta
I
make a
think
trade.
Montreal has a better
Yeah.
chance at McTavish than we do.
You gotta
I
make
think
a
Matty
trade.
Beniers would be such a glove fit here. It's not even funny.
All right, let's move on. Who's next? Same team. Eric.
Well, it definitely has to be a center. And you know what? Alex likes Beniers. I actually like Shane Wright. I'm big on Shane Wright. I think I've watched
It would be less of a package to get him too.
We a lot less.
maybe
Okay.
like who knows?
Yeah.
I don't
I'd
know
be
what
fine
it
with
would take
Shane
to
Wright.
get him, but like I was watching the Seattle game. Oh fuck man, who were they playing? I mean, the last game they played anyway. And I was like, made it an effort to like watch Beniers and watch Wright. And like, look, Beniers would look great too. Like, I'm not saying like Beniers is not a good player. It's just that I think if Seattle does trade a young center, I think it's gonna be Wright. And look, man, Wright looked good too. So like, yeah, man, I'd go after Shane Wright.
From
And,
what I'm
you know-
hearing, though, I don't think they're going to trade Shane Wright.
So
don't think they're
here's the
gonna trade
thing when
any
I
of their
look at
centers.
Seattle as a trade destination. This is a team I brought this up on Twitter today, and my tweet blew up. This is a team that has a very aging defense core, and that's why I mentioned Cam York as a possible trade acquisition. They have 4 guys in their core that are between the ages of 28 and 32. It's an old D core. They're garbage right now. They currently have Shane Wright, Bertley Catton in the system, and Matty Beniers. They're probably going to be picking top 5. If they go center again, you have a logjam there. They might not. They might go Porter Martone, possibility, if he's there. But if they go best available and they go like Higgins or Frondell, someone's got to go. So I don't see it as an unrealistic possibility. Shane Wright would be a great add too. I'd be happy with him.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
they're
don't
going to
think
move.
you're going to get Shane Wright.
I don't think Shane.
They're going to make Danny's cooking something for a center. I truly believe that.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
so
they
there
have
are a
to.
lot of teams. So are we,
Dude,
I-
they only like half their defense is like one of their defensemen, Brandon Montour, is 30. Jimmy Oleksiak is 32. Adam Larson's 32. The rest of that are all under the
And
age
they're
of 30.
garbage. The
Vince-
team is garbage right now.
Like Vince Dunn,
why
like
would
you
you
act
go
like
with-
20, you act like 28 and 32 is a death sentence. I'm just like
I'm not, but the team is garbage. That's the point. So why aren't you just trying to sell these off and trying to rebuild?
they still got Cal Fleury at 26, Josh Mahura at 26,
Not my point. The team is garbage.
and Riker Evans. Like I don't know. Like will they? But I don't think they're gonna. They might try to go maybe for Aaron Ekblad in the offseason, but
Why
they'll
would you get
unload
another
it.
aging defenseman?
I don't
We already have
know.
47 of them.
That would be rough for
It's in
Seattle. I
goal.
think Seattle's trying to rebuild now. I think they
Yeah,
finally
that's what I'm
realized
saying.
that.
It makes, and I get Matty Beniers is young. That's why the Flyers have 7 picks out of the first 49, I think, right now.
So they're
You
going to move
have to
older players. They're going to move older players if they're looking at a rebuild. If you got young
I
centers like
understand
that
that.
age, you're not moving them in a rebuild. You want to build around them.
But listen, I understand that. But the point being with my package idea, or even Eric's in general, because both of them are young centers, you have the most ammo out of any team in the league right now for this year's draft. You have 7 out of the first round and a half right now.
They're gonna have
Number 1. Number 2, the team is going to want to get some either picks or prospects. Flyers don't have a lot of high-end prospects, so they can add a lot of picks. Denver Barkey's a name you can mention. Oliver Bonk's a guy you can mention. Maybe even one of the goalies, as much as I wouldn't want to give up Bjarnason. There's ways to make that work. And Matty Beniers or even Shane Wright would get a hefty package. Makes sense. You got to move some of the defensemen too. But
I
you're
don't
not
think-
getting the package as much of it's a
they
My
might.
only thing, my only thing though is if I'm packaging, if I'm sending York, I'm not patching it. I'm not adding a first. That's it. It's like it
For
would
which
have to be
player?
York and like a second, and maybe like a B or C prospect. But I'm not giving them like York and a first.
Oh,
It
for
might
what?
not do it though. It might not get him on that. You might get Shane Wright like that though.
Yeah,
that's
I
why.
think Beniers
Yeah.
would take more than Wright. I absolutely agree
Yeah.
there.
The only thing why I don't
Beniers is
think
going to
Seattle
require a
trades
first and
Beniers,
something
though,
else.
is
Yeah.
because like
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Yeah,
it's
Beniers
like
going to have
he's
to.
their first. Wasn't he
But
like
they're
their
not gonna
first
trade him.
pick ever?
Second overall
trading
pick in
him.
2021.
They're not going to trade him.
Not
Shane
true. I
Wright
don't- I don't
maybe,
think he's
but
going
I
anywhere.
doubt it.
And Berkeley Catton's a center. They
Like
might
I said,
move him
I-
to the wing, but he's
I
currently
think-
a center.
Like I said, I think the best options are either Trevor Zegras or Mason McTavish for you because they're if you look at Anaheim's roster, they are loaded just as much as
Yeah.
Seattle is at center. And I don't think Seattle's because they're such a young and new team and there's a lot of energy around that arena and in that fan base. I don't think they're gonna get rid of any of those like those two players. So I think they're going to end up building. I think Rick's right. They're going to end up building around them. But Anaheim needs help. So Anaheim's going to get another top pick this season, and like you said, it's going to be at center. I think they're going to likely end up moving one of theirs out.
Anaheim's likely going wing, I think.
And I think it's either going to be McTavish or Zegras. So one of those two is definitely not going to be in Anaheim.
I think Montreal's got their eyes on McTavish personally.
McTavish, yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I had mentioned this, but someone asked AI Montreal's roster next season, and McTavish was the second line center that they listed. So AI thinks it's good. No, but AI seems to think that it's McTavish.
I think either the Flyers or Montreal make a play for McTavish, and whoever doesn't get McTavish might make a play for Zegras. So I think there you go.
I'm not giving up a big group for Zegras. I'm not giving up a big.
No, but you're going to have to give up at least a first round pick for him.
Yeah,
I give up our latest first. And
Stop that.
Listen, if you want a top six center, you got to give up something.
Yeah,
no, I know. Zegras, I'm worried about his attitude right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's just his attitude. I think it's the entire situation over in Anaheim.
No, I mean that's fair.
Like it's not just him. Everybody player does not want to go to that rink.
Yeah.
I won't argue with that.
So like I don't think it's
not
like
people
shit on Zegras. Yeah, if anything, I think Cutter's more of a problem. I mean, I don't want to put it all on Zegras. I mean, watch, because if he goes to another team and he starts performing, and then he's like, actually, he's a really good guy. You know what I mean? They said this. Listen, they said the same shit about Taylor Hall in Edmonton when Edmonton was still a very young team. And look what Taylor Hall did when he started moving around. I mean, he ended up becoming a journeyman, but he ended up being like one of the best locker room guys in Boston, New Jersey, and then they boot him out of Buffalo. But Buffalo's a terrorist organization, so what do you want out of that?
Yes, they are.
So, I mean, there you go. It's just like the perfect comp for that is Taylor Hall.
That's fair. I mean, it could happen.
All right, let's move on. About that. Cam, but give somebody. Don't say anybody.
Literally anybody.
You got to pick a guy. Come on.
Okay, we'll send Mike.
Johnny Busick.
Mike Pizzetta. You want him?
No, I'll take Johnny Busick. Yeah. Have that fucker come out of retirement.
Pick a real guy. Come on.
What, in the offseason? I mean, there's just too many holes right now. I think the holes are the biggest holes in the Boston Bruins. It's not with their defense.
Yeah, it's not about that. Who do you want to see them pick up?
Oh, I want them to go for a second line right wing.
Who's a guy you like?
Brock Besser, I guess.
Ooh, yeah, that's a possibility, right?
Brock Besser.
Brock
Besser is a good one. He's a good second line right wing. The only problem I have with that is that he might want $8 million, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to give a second line right wing $8 million playing right behind David Pastrnak.
I'll tell you what, though, with the cap going up and everything, that's about what the second line guys are going to start making.
No, I know that, but it's just like him right now. I think he would need like a 1-year deal at like 7. And then we'll assess it there, and then the next year he can get 8. I don't know. The other option is a first line left winger, and I'm looking at Nikolai Ehlers.
That's another one.
Do you think like Fraser Minton is Fraser Minton up next year, like full time?
I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of healthy competition, but I mean, when I went to the game against Carolina, I liked how Fraser played. I'm willing to give. And I talked about this on Hybrid Nation with respect to the Bruins prospects. People are still down on Lysell, and I know I was, but I brought up a good comp. And I'm not saying he's going to be Brad Marchand, but Brad Marchand's first year, he played 20 games. He only got like 3 points, and he was a -1, or he only got like 2 points, and he was a -3. So, I mean, like, you got to give these guys at least a year in the NHL to make that decision, whether or not they're going to show you something. They just haven't with their talent.
You want to trade Lysell in our group chat?
Which is why Don Sweeney's going to go, because if Don Sweeney's still in charge, it's not going to happen. That's the problem.
So, I mean, I think Fraser, I think Husnudinov, who I love, Fraserman and Lysell might comprise your third line next year. And then you're going to have maybe Casey Middlestat on the second line left wing, probably Matt Poitras as the second line center. And
can't even do a chin up.
Shut up. And then and then hopefully Brock Besser or something like that of that nature, or like, some combination with Zacha on the second line, maybe on the second line left wing, and then Middlestat, and then Besser, and then you're gonna have Geeky because on the first line with Pastrnak and Lindholm, because they've been playing extremely well the last few games. It's just.
I got a question. It's interesting you bring up Brock Besser, and you don't want to go past $8 million, which I probably wouldn't either. The Bruins, if they have Fraser Minton in their lineup next year, and Lizelle. So if both of them are there,
Cheap.
going into game one, they only have 11 skaters under contract at this moment. So
Geeky's going to get 5.5. Five
Geeky,
and a half.
I mean, you'll re-sign Geeky. You'll re-sign Low Rye. You know those two are going to get their money.
Johnny Beecher is going to get re-signed, but those are cheap. I mean, Johnny Beecher and Lil Rye, I think, are going to be cheap deals. They're definitely going to
2 cents. We know
they're going to qualify Oliver Wahlstrom. They are. They're going to keep him down in Providence, and he's going to be like a 13th man when they need him. And so that's what I think is going to happen. Some people don't want Wahlstrom. I'm just like, I just don't like to let RFAs walk away for free and then eventually find their way. That's just my philosophy on it. But yeah, that's what I would like to see the Bruins go for, either a first line left wing or a second line right wing. You know that.
All right, there you go.
But
Okay.
I think they're fine at center right now. You don't need an elite center in the form of like a Jack Hughes. It'll like go watch Hibernation, guys.
Because you're going to suck again next year.
You need
you're missing my point. Is what I'm saying. Like you look at a lot of guys like role guys. Like everyone, of course, wants that elite first line center, like the Hughes, the Matthews, and all of that. But honestly, if you look at a lot of good playoff teams too, like you could get away with a good center that can just win you faceoffs in critical situations.
A good first line center. It doesn't have to be elite, but a good one. Like there's teams around the league like right now that
all depend. See,
look at Strome out in Washington, for example.
Yeah, go
good first line guy.
But go watch the episode of Hibernation, dude. Like we break it down and we say it all depends on role as well.
Okay.
It's a role-based thing, you know.
Let's move on, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, Rick, I'm with you. It's got to be the second line center. I think really that's just kind of the glaring hole right now.
I'm looking at
everything else will start to fill in more.
Got any names?
Demidov will be on the second line wing, but I think for me, I like McTavish there.
Yep.
If they want to maybe, again, depending on how high they think of Michael Hage, if they want maybe to bring a vet there for a couple years until he's there, maybe like a Jared McCann. But to me, I like McTavish.
My God, you people love Seattle.
I think Jared McCann's a great option.
No, I believe that if they're going to get rid of the center,
years until Michael Hage, if they want to go that route.
Yeah, and McCann's got 2 years left on his deal. He's a left shot guy. It's exactly what they need.
I mean, if Florida re-signs Sam Bennett to a long-term deal, like I don't know, maybe Frondel's available.
Don't steal my guy.
I don't know.
I said that, Rick. Did I not talk about that with you? I talked that Sam Bennett would be a great
Sam
fit.
Bennett. That's not. I thought he was going elsewhere. If they sign Sam Bennett, Anton Lundell is the guy.
You're not going to get. No, Florida will get Anton Lundell. Don't.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
we're
talking about who I want.
If Bennett gets signed to a long-term deal, I don't know.
Are they going to afford?
Lundell's available so he can get more playing time.
I think he might be available, Lundell, at that point.
No, I think they'll favor Lundell over.
Impossible, but it's about who we want. So for me, Lundell's the guy. Why? He's a 200-foot player. He's 23. So here's another point. If they're trading big things to get this guy, and if to get a top 6 center, you got to give up, right? They're not getting a guy for 2 years and then that's it. They're going to be gone. Unless they're getting a guy signed to term, and that's 2 years, and that's fine. They might re-sign him. But I don't think anybody they trade for that big is going to be gone in 2 years. So Lundell fits the bill there. He signed for $5 million. Perfect. He's the right guy he's a defensive kind of guy too. And he puts up numbers. Why defensive is important as a 200-foot guy? Because he's got to play with Line A. And he's got to make up for some of Line A's defensive liabilities. So that's for me. If I in a perfect world, we acquire Anton Lundell.
I think
you're like McTavish too.
I think Lundell is going to get 3 years at $5 million, and then he's going to get a bag.
He's got 5 years left on his deal.
I think Florida is going to try to keep Lundell only because they're letting Bennett walk.
If they let Bennett walk, I agree with you.
If they don't and they re-sign Bennett,
that's the key. Yeah, if they
re-sign
Bennett, I think Bennett's walking. I think he's getting the bag elsewhere.
That could be, and then I would say, my other two are McTavish and McCann.
I'm going to give you guys a name that would be interesting, and this is only a short-term fix for you guys because I'm putting more that you're going to have Michael Hage as that long-term 2C, but this is a 2-year option guy that I'm thinking of. Brock Nelson, 2 years.
That was the name I had in my mind too.
Brock Nelson leaves Colorado. He's only there for the rest of the year. Brock Nelson signs there. 2 years until Hage is ready.
Yeah.
I think it's a glove fit. He's still good.
Good work.
He's still about a 60-point guy or close to it.
Yeah, you need a guy that's going to put 50.
Good two-way forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
I
gotta
think
bring
Brock
that
Nelson
veteran
will be a
leadership.
glove fit in
Is-
Montreal.
What shot? Is he left or right?
I think he's
He's a
left.
right shot.
If he's right shot, he's not going to be considered. Why? Because we're loaded with right shot. We need a left shot guy.
Let me look. I think he is.
I don't have him on my list.
Brock
at all,
Nelson
so-
is a left shot center.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Then
left
that
shot.
could work. Yeah, that could work. Need a left shot guy. Oh, I guess that's it. Anybody
All
got
right.
anything else to add?
No, guys, I think that'll do it. Any final thoughts before I take us out?
Go get Matty Beniers Flyers.
It's not happening, Alex. Get over it.
Go Habs, go. We'll make it
Exactly,
work.
Alex. It's not gonna happen because Shane Wright's gonna be a Flyer.
I'll
That-
take that,
that-
too. That is
No,
a
I
damn
think
good
Jared McCann.
consolation
I think Jared
prize.
McCann is more likely to be moved than anybody. I think they're going to keep Shane Wright and Beniers. Those are the future players. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
guys. Let's
And
grow up here
Jared
a little bit.
McCann, he's
Except Matty
definitely.
Beniers has struggled offensively the last 2 years there.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I
he's
still
still
think
also
they're gonna
only
get rid of him.
22.
Yeah, he's 22, dude. Like,
And Ron Francis is incompetent.
let's grow up a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for episode 64 of the Pucking Round podcast. You know us. We love you. Make sure to follow us on everything. Like, subscribe on the YouTube. And don't forget to leave your comments here. Check out our website at don'tpuckwithmedia.com. That is don'tpuckwithmedia.com. We have a beautiful picture of Eric's lovely face up there. He looks handsome as all hell as soon as he gives it to us. As usual, Rick smells. Alex looks like the goofball from the Goonies, and Matt is just Matt. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for episode 64. Have a good night, and we will see you next week.
Ciao, everybody.
Wow.
Go Avs, go, baby.